You can hold a diamond in your hand. You can have a pocket full of sand. Yeah. Don't make no difference to me. I still need a reason to be. You can hold your desire. You can foster a dream, but they're just water and fire without a reason to be.
Elvis Presley once said, people think you're crazy when you talk about things they don't understand. And I like to take that quote a little further and say people think you're crazy when you talk about or do things they don't understand. I've had some interesting experiences over the last few years with that. People thinking I'm crazy, training down at Creekside here. I've had people that have called the police and the police show up and they think that I'm on drugs, or whacked out or crazy or those sorts of things. My brother one time had a woman who we went to high school with, some 25 years ago, and they were friends, on Facebook. And she sent him a message once after she saw me out in public training, and sent him a message and said, "Is your brother okay?" And so, of course, my brother, he's like, "Yeah, he's just parkour training." And what? What's that? I've come to learn that if you can't make fun of yourself, and the things that you do, you're just going to go through life as a really rigid person and, probably bitter and angry a lot. Seeing that scene in The Office where they were doing the hardcore parkour and flopping around in the office off of couches and desks and doing all this weird stuff, to be honest, yeah, it's funny. And I love the fact that you can pretty much make fun of anything in life. Even when I'm out there, I find humor sometimes in my parkour training where I come up with this idea, I'm going to do this movement, and I do it, and I totally fail at it, and I look like, totally ridiculous, or I fall and, land on the ground. First thing I do is I start laughing. It is the best medicine. It releases those endorphins, and, it's good for your soul. So, the fact that people can make fun of parkour, the more people talk about parkour, the better. I had just come off training for an entire year for a marathon. I did a couple triathlons that year, and so the training was pretty strenuous and kind of static, running a lot. And I did my marathon, and it crushed my body, and afterwards I was just a little discouraged. And my son, Ryan, who's now 18, saw this parkour documentary called People in Motion on YouTube, and it's free to watch. And he's like, "Dad, you gotta watch this. You're gonna like this." And I was like, all right, so I checked it out. Never really heard of parkour or seen anything, relative to parkour. And so I watched that documentary with him, and the moment I watched it, like just a few minutes into it, the passion that I saw in the athletes and the creativity of their movement, that's what I was looking for at the time. French terminology, they call it art du déplacement, or the art of movement. And that's really what parkour is. And it's taking, a lot of functional movements. The original inception was a training discipline. They have another French term that's big around the international parkour community, and that's être fort pour être utile. And pardon me, I don't speak French very well, but what that means is to be strong in order to be useful. My oldest daughter, Madeline, we call her Maddie for short, she has a rare genetic disorder called Cornelia de Lange syndrome. And with that, she has malformed limbs, so her feet, her legs, her hands. She struggles with her cognitive functioning. Her speech is really delayed. I'm not sure I like that word, but so she struggles a lot in life, and she's definitely by far my biggest inspiration. She struggles a lot to be able to do a lot of the things I think the rest of us take for granted. And one of those things is the ability to move, and the other thing is the ability to use her mind. That said, she has the biggest heart of anybody I've ever met. Everybody, we kid around about this, but it's so true. Anybody that's ever met my daughter Maddie, you are an instant friend. She has no enemies. She loves everybody. And so she inspires me in that way, but when it comes to parkour and you know, the health and wellness and taking care of my body and my mind, there's no greater inspiration. For her to be able to climb up to the top of just a short jungle gym is a great challenge for her. And it's interesting. That's one of the things I do from time to time is I'll take Maddie and my girls will go to Friendship Park, or we'll go to the playground set over at Goshen Lane Elementary, and I've actually gotten video of her doing this. And they have a short little climbing wall that's maybe 6-7 feet high. And you know, with my assistance, you know, and kind of encouragement, Maddie can climb over that. And just a few years ago, she would have screamed bloody murder and said no, because there's no way you're getting her to even climb up 3 feet, let alone 6 feet up over a wall and back down the other side of it, you know, and now she's able to do that. Did you like the time when you climbed up that wall at Goshen Lane and you went over the wall?
Yeah.
Did you feel like, oh my gosh?
Yeah.
Wasn't that awesome?
Yeah.
You never done that before, had you?
Mm-hmm.
No, that was hard, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you did it, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
You want to try it over here tonight?
Yeah.
You want to try to walk up the wall?
Yeah.
Good. Good. Yep, get your feet set.
They're up.
How about right here?
You can do all of it. She's got it all on her
No,
own.
no, it's okay.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, look at you.
Good job, Maddie. Good work.
Oh, that's up.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's good spot.
Yep.
Good. You don't need any help. You're a pro.
Yeah.
Good work.
Oh, good.
Okay, you got this.
Good job, Maddie. Yes. All right. There you go. Good work. Nicely done.
That was amazing. Has she done that before?
No, not that. That's the first time she's ever done it.
That was amazing. They didn't think she would walk,
Yeah.
and she didn't start walking till she was 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything that Maddie overcomes is huge.
Yeah.
So when you have a child with special needs, just transferring a toy from one hand to the other is a celebration. So to see your kiddo that, you know,
Climb a wall.
that, you know, would rather just sit and watch a show or hang out with her friends and watch other people, and you know, she's an observer. She likes to sit off to the side and watch other people, but to see her interact and be brave like that, but it's inspiring.
That's one of the motivating factors for me with parkour is, you know, to keep myself in good physical condition, to set an example for my kids, set an example for the youth in my community, and even adults.
I'm in a group, it's like just a local group for the town, and someone was actually complaining about him. But I had seen him, around town. I didn't know what his name was or who he really was. I just kind of thought he was like Ninja Warrior guy. Somebody was complaining about him on Facebook. I don't really remember what I said, but I jumped in on that conversation on Facebook, and but he was like, oh, hey, that's me. I never realized it was him. That was the first time I ever actually figured out who he was, other than just driving past him. The first time I sent him a message was because Gavin had tried a little obstacle course at a local park, which Gavin had never, ever, ever done anything like that. Gavin was afraid of everything. Gavin wouldn't try things. Even getting Gavin out of the house can be a challenge. He has lots of issues. And we went to a park, and there was an obstacle course, and he wanted to try it for the first time because he wanted to be like parkour guy. It's wonderful that somebody like Jason out there who's actually trying to be a positive influence in the community and on, you know, not just kids, but adults as well. So it's awesome. Gavin, he struggles a lot, and to have somebody that is willing to even take a little bit of time and talk to him and help him out, it's wonderful. I'm grateful.
I have this kind of mantra that I live by, and that's aspire to inspire. And so, you know, when I first watched my first parkour video and saw some of these athletes doing what they were doing, I was instantly inspired by it. And you know, not everybody's gonna be inspired by what I do. A lot of people are gonna, you know, look, point, laugh, or even say that I'm crazy for doing it. But there's still other people that, like me, they can't draw. So they can't express themselves that way, or they don't play music, or they don't have that creative outlet. But the moment they see me doing what I'm doing, they're like, wait a minute, I can do that, you know, and I wanna do that. And I think that's cool. So if I inspire just one person by doing it, I think that's a great achievement.
I always wanted to be trained by
by you.
Oh yeah?
We actually met him at Friendship Park, but the first time I saw him was at Gahanna High School, and he was doing parkour on the railings and dodging people, and it was really neat to watch. I saw him a few other times there, and my friend Crystal posted something on Facebook about her son Gavin and Jason, so I immediately friended him because I remembered seeing him doing his parkour. And then we had a couple messages back and forth on Messenger. And then when I was at the park a couple weeks later at Friendship Park, we saw him and I said, "That's the parkour guy, we have to go say hi." So that's kind of how we met him.
I had before seen him again through Gahanna and just seeing this, crazy guy doing parkour through Gahanna, but getting a chance to actually meet him, and then Ethan was able to walk right up to him and just have a full-blown conversation, and Jason opened right up, which was really, really cool. Not what I expected at all. It really motivated Ethan. Ethan's always had things that he's wanted to do. He's always aspired to be really just athletic and really cool, but he just doesn't have that drive or path or knowledge of how to get there. And it was really interesting because Jason was telling him exactly what it takes, and Jason then was showing him things that he could do. And I could tell my son Ethan until I'm blue in the face what he needs to do to get something done, but it took Jason a few seconds to really just open up his eyes. And now he wants to do push-ups, and he wants to go to the parkour gym all the time. I hear about every day he wants to. He's like, let's go to the parkour gym. So it's really cool. I like to see my son have that drive, and it's been a struggle with him because he's always I can't, and I like the fact that that's going away.
With parkour, it's making yourself strong in order to make yourself useful for the greater good.
You can sail across the ocean. You can cross the 7 seas.